Thank you for watching this Last Mile Profits video.
Could Daniel Křetínský's bid for Royal Mail be blocked? Carry on watching to find out.
Experience the future of convenience with modern Expo parcel lockers. Cutting-edge innovations that bring parcel delivery to a fundamentally new level. Follow the link in the description to find the best solution for your business.
Gary, I was looking at yesterday's Last Mile brief and I saw a headline article, Government to Scrutinise 5.3 billion Royal Mail takeover deal. And I thought this could be a pretty good one to discuss.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, whoever gets bored of hearing more Royal Mail news? Nobody does. I was curious why the valuation had increased by 1.8 billion over the last month, because I thought the offer was 3.57 billion and now it's gone to 5.3 billion. So maybe that's a typo there. But yeah, it was bound to happen. We've had a change of government in the UK and all our eyes are on Křetínský and the Royal Mail deal.
Question, Gary, could the difference, I have no idea, but maybe the difference is the amount that he's offered to buy up staff shares?
No, because that was only going to be a small single-digit percentage of the total shareholding. 3 to 5%, I believe, sit with the shareholding. So I'm not quite sure why there's a different number there. But I think what the interesting part of this is what can the new Labour government actually do? And I'm not convinced they've got a large range of options of what they could do even if they wanted to derail this deal.
Yeah, I reckon. I mean, first of all, coming back to the question of the amount, if anyone does know and there was a mistake in the article, then please drop a comment below, because it would be, I think, very interesting for everyone. I agree with you, Gary. I think there's not much they can do, but given who they are, I think they need to demonstrate that they will have taken a duty of care to ensure that, everything was checked, double checked, in the interests or in the public interest.
I'm not sure whether you're saying double check to some sort of play on words because of Křetínský's nationality or not, but I think Royal Mail being checked is definitely what's likely to happen. I mean, at the same time, the Labour government has moved quickly out of the gates, so they've already announced they're going to effectively renationalise the railways. So I don't know if you're aware that the track infrastructure is owned by a nationalised company called Network Rail, and then each of the rail franchises is independently owned, apart from a few the government has already absorbed. As each of those franchises come up for renewal, they're not going to renew them. They're going to become state-owned once again. So the nationalisation agenda is definitely on their minds, but they can do that without spending any money. To take Royal Mail back into ownership, they would have to find the 3.5 or 5.3 billion pounds necessary to absorb that shareholding, and I'm not sure they've got the money in the till yet.
And the question is, historically, did the government do a great job? And irrespective of whichever party, with Royal Mail, is it the best owner? It's a really difficult one, because if they were to renationalise it, forgetting the ripple waves that it could send to other investors in other areas of the economy, because as you said, the franchises are really an easy one because they just take them over. But I think it could send a worrying message. Point one, point two. It's a bit of a hot potato, Gary. Would the government want to have that back?
Well, from what I can gather, and I've spoken to a few people about this, it would take a legislative change for them they'd have to introduce a new law to enable them to really effectively stop this. Unless Daniel or his organisation fails the sort of proprietary test of being a suitable owner, which they've already passed once when they exceeded 25% shareholding. They had to be seen as a fit and proper owner to do that. Unless they fail that, because something has changed in the intervening months and years, it's very difficult, I think, to find a legal basis upon which the deal could be stopped. So I think to go back to the rail analogy, I think the train has left the station, and I think the destination is going to be new ownership for Royal Mail.
Well, especially, Gary, because Křetínský is a respected guy. He has a major shareholding in Post NL. So it's not just in the UK. So I think it will be very, very difficult to try and do something at this stage.
And Sainsbury's in the UK. He's one of the biggest shareholders in the UK's second largest. I think they're still second largest supermarket chain. I mean, he's doing all the right things as well. He was all over the media last weekend talking about his plans. We've already discussed his pledged to spend £400 million on 20,000 locker stations for Royal Mail across the UK. That would give them double the number of lockers, and they have access to post offices almost. They have 11,000 post offices that they can go after. They're making all the right overtures towards the union, all the right overtures towards the staff and the shareholding we discussed previously as well. So I think, the guy's a class act. In my opinion, he's a class act. He's doing all the things you would expect somebody to do this the right way, not aggressively, not super robustly, but sort of in a sort of sympathetic way, given how much that Royal Mail brand means to many, many people that live in the UK.
So I reckon, Gary, however we look at it, this is amazing. We are aligned again. We both have a view that they have to do it to show that they've taken due care. But in reality, I think we're aligned that it's highly unlikely that this can be derailed at this point. Let's see. I think it's a question of perhaps months. We'll finally find out. It may be that there's a quick response even before this video comes online. So let's see. It'll be interesting. We can always comment below. Let's see how it goes.
If they're going to do anything, if they're going to do more nationalisation beyond the railways, I think it'll be the water companies. So the water companies in the UK have got huge problems. Several of them are in special measures. Thames Water has got billions of pounds of debt. They wanted to put the water prices up for their customer base of between 35 and 43% to try to start pay back some of their debt. They've got huge structural issues. So they've paid themselves huge dividends, the people that own the water companies, and that's the sort of thing that really rankles with the Labour Party, the Labour government, because it affects every single person. Whereas Royal Mail, you could, and their monopoly for that area, you can't. It's not like you can decide, I don't want to use Thames Water, I want to use the neighbouring water company. You have no choice. Whereas Royal Mail does live in a competitive world. They have competition for bulk mail. They have massive competition in the parcel market. So they have the USO obligation, of course, but generally speaking, it's a more commercial business than some of the others that the Labour government probably should have their eyes set on. So I think they'll have other targets.
So here we have it. Water and rail probably need to be more careful in terms of what's going to happen, but the Post, or in this case Royal Mail, looks like it won't be derailed. Let's see where it takes us. Thanks very much, Gary. I think it was a great discussion.
Thanks, Mary.
Thanks for watching this Last Mile Profits video. For more up-to-date last mile news and analysis, subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on LinkedIn.